Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that.
Interesting? No, not interesting. Harmful, dangerous, really bad.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I say maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not a doctor, but I'm like a person that has a good you-know-what.
It should shock you. But if you've been watching President Trump's coronavirus briefings, you know he's very comfortable touting COVID-19 therapies without really knowing too much about them.
Hydroxychloroquine, as you know, it's a great malaria drug. It's worked unbelievably. It also works very powerfully on lupus. And again, you have to go through your medical people, get the approval. But I've seen things that I sort of like. So what do I know? I'm not a doctor.
This is not scientifically proven to be an effective treatment for COVID-19. Even so, President Trump and Fox News spent weeks touting it as such.
A drug called hydroxychloroquine.
What do you have to lose?
Hydroxychloroquine.
We don't have time to go and say, gee, let's take a couple of years and test it out. And let's go and test with the test tubes and the laboratories. We don't have time.
One patient was described as Lazarus, getting up after he was like on death's door, and they started getting a protocol of hydroxychloroquine at Lenox Hill, and it's suddenly like Lazarus up from the grave. That's an actual case.
Either Fox News repeats Trump, or Trump repeats Fox News, depending upon the situation, and then a cycle happens, involving Trump, Fox News, and various conservative websites. And they go round and round and round and substantiate it, and they believe it more. And this has real-world consequences.
At least 22 states have now enacted regulations to stop the hoarding, since no one even knows if the drugs will work against coronavirus.
I tried probably 7 or 8 different pharmacies in our area.
So it wasn't just one pharmacy. It was several pharmacies
Yes.
that didn't have the hydroxychloroquine.
What's happened here is that Trump and Fox News have forced their viewers and much of the American public into a choice. You can go with them, or you can go with the experts. So where does science and where do facts end up?
He gets new information. He likes to talk that through out loud and really have that dialogue. And so that's what dialogue he was having. I think he just saw the information at the time.
The medical professionals advising Trump have a second job of staying on his good side. They have to tiptoe around him when it comes time to correct the record.
I would like Dr. Fauci, if you don't mind, to follow up on what the president is saying. Should Americans have hope in this drug right now?
The president feels optimistic about something, his feeling about it. It might be effective, but as a scientist, as we're getting it out there, we need to do it in a way as while we are making it available for people who might want the hope that it might work, you're also collecting data that will ultimately show that it is truly effective.
So what we have here now is a situation where top aides, advisors, scientists have a fear of being sidelined or somehow stifled. So where do we get actual information? Where do we get real facts? Where do we get the truth? Unfortunately, Fox News has not been a very good marketplace for that particular commodity. Facts.
Michael Bloomberg is going to handle the tracing army of tracers in New York. We learned today from Cuomo.
That's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, an army of tracers.
Then we should trace everybody for cancer.
Yeah, army of tracers.
We should trace everybody for cancer and heart disease and obesity, and I mean a lot of things kill you more than COVID-19.
More than any other actor, more than his aides, more than Congress, more than anything, the president reacts and responds to Fox News. It shapes what he says and it shapes what he thinks. We're in the middle of a pandemic here where people are dying, where they're suffering. You don't want health officials to sort of have to to sort of shade their words or tiptoe lightly because the president and Fox News are driving one particular line. We want them to feel unencumbered, able to tell the truth. We should be listening to the experts and not be distracted by what Trump, with the assistance of Fox News, gins up in terms of science or advice or ideas, because the stakes are just too high.